I was made aware that I wasn't truly black when I returned to the United States from living overseas. And I think the United States really loves to put you in categories. You're either this kind of white or this kind of black, and there's certain expectations. When I lived overseas, I never saw color. I never felt color. But when I moved back to the United States, oh, I was made aware that I wasn't black, which I didn't even know there was such a thing called not black when you're black. But I guess if you're not black enough, and I felt like I wasn't accepted because I did not dress the way everybody else dressed. I didn't talk the way everybody else talked. I didn't necessarily listen to the same music. And I say that's because I was lucky and privileged enough to be exposed to so many different cultures and just so many variety of stuff in life. And I think that helped shape me to be the kind of person I am. So I wouldn't say I do not like rap music. I would never say I don't like rap music or I don't like R&B. But I'm not going to say that's going to be my soul music. No, I can find joy in all types of music. And I would like to say that was contributed to a teacher I had in sixth grade, Miss Williams, who, while we were in her class, were exposed to everything. And thanks to her, I grew to have a love for the symphony. Absolutely love it. I loved it so much I learned how to play the violin because I loved it so much. I came to appreciate painting, the arts, opera, theater. She opened my world up to that, and I just loved it and I embraced it. And I think because others may not have been lucky enough to be exposed to that life or to that part of life, that when they see someone else doing that, they don't know what to do with it. So they automatically just shun them because they're like, I don't know what that is. I'm not even doing that. Where for me, I've always felt if someone is doing something different or something's different what I'm used to, I ask questions. I want to know, like, what is that? It might be something I like, but no, it just wasn't. I was I was black, but I wasn't black enough, which is the craziest crap I've ever heard. Where I felt like the white community was more of like, whatever. So it was kind of crazy for me growing up, knowing that the one community that was supposed to accept you didn't accept you because you didn't fit into the mold they say a black person is supposed to fit in. I never fit in that mold. I never will fit in that mold. And I'm completely okay with it. I'm lucky enough that my personality was always like, hey, if you don't accept me, that's fine. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to change myself to make you happy. I'm not doing that. You either accept me or you don't, which is fine. But now it's gotten worse. To me, it's gotten worse in the fact that now, if you don't see things the way the person sees you, thinks you should see it, and if you don't agree with what they agree with, it's gone from they don't want nothing to do with you to the fact that now you're not even human. They don't think you should be treated as a human being with any kind of respect because you don't hold the same values and views they do, which to me is crazy. There's nothing wrong with someone having different views than you do. And there's nothing wrong with people seeing things different than you do. It just means they have different views and they see things differently. But I also feel a lot of misconceptions should be cleared up if you could sit down and have a decent conversation. But now they don't even want to have a decent conversation. They don't even want to have a conversation with you. Once they think and they know that you don't see things the way see with a certain way, now they go to insults. They're going to try to insult you. They're going to try to hurt your feelings. And I will sit and try to have a conversation with anybody. But once you try to insult me, once you're going to do name calling me, the conversation is over. Because I will never do that to somebody. If I see things aren't going to go that way, I'll just like, hey, we agree to disagree. I'm not going to think less of you. I'm going to treat you any less. We just agree to disagree. But then you have those people that now that you don't agree with them, they're going to try to hurt your feelings. They're going to try to degrade you. Once that happens, I have nothing to say to you. I'm walking away from you. Because I'll be damned if I'm going to allow anybody to take away the one thing I have that's irreplaceable. The one thing I have I know I can never get back, and that's my time. Once I see you're insulting, I'm leaving you. I'm not giving you any more of my time because you're not worth it. You're not worth it. You're on a different level. I just can't anymore. Because insults and name calling is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So I would just wanted to say, you know what? You're not going to agree with everybody. Everybody's not going to agree with you. But that doesn't mean they're not a human and it doesn't mean they shouldn't be treated with respect. You agree to disagree and walk away. It doesn't change the fact they're still a human. They want to be treated with respect. They want to have some kind of dignity. That's just basically it. Treat each other with respect and dignity. I mean, it's not that hard. There's no need to be nasty, no need to be mean. It's just we got to do better. We just got to do better. That's all.